In it here now, I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna bid on here now, who bid $500,000 bid, I'm at 500.
Hey folks, it's Chris Bair and Tim Peters with Pifer's Auction Realty and Land Management, just south of Sioux Falls on I-29. This is our Worthing facility just off exit 64. Today, our roundtable discussion is going to be about land management. And Tim Peters has been kind enough to join us this morning.
Yep.
He's our land management leader in South Dakota. And we're going to talk about land management. Tim, tell me a little bit about yourself and tell me a little bit about land management.
Okay, be happy to do that. My name is Tim Peters. I grew up on a family farm east of Stickney, South Dakota. Went to SDSU, spent 30 years as a ag and commercial lender here in South Dakota, and been with Pifer Auction Realty and Land Management about 2 years now.
You're not a greenhorn.
Not a greenhorn, that's true.
Good. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Tim has been here with us for about 2 years. We appreciate Tim. He adds a lot of maturity and versatility to our Sioux Falls team, and we appreciate him being here.
Yeah,
so tell me a little bit about land management. Land management to the average guy that's out there, we talk a lot about auctions. We have auctions here at our facility here in Worthing. We're been involved in the auction company for many years.
Yep.
But people don't always associate land management with auctions. Give me that connection.
Okay.
Why land management? Why auctions?
There's more and more people that own ag land that really aren't as experienced as they should be or qualified to manage that very valuable asset. We can come in, we can determine soil types, and we can determine very close to what the market value is on that rent per acre on an annual basis. We try to be realistic. We try to work with that landowner, know exactly what he's got out there on his ground, whether it be tillable ground or hay acres or pasture acres or maybe even some waste acres. And we try to meet or beat his expectations on a cash rent basis.
So if I'm a landowner and say I own a section of land, I own 640 acres, and right now interest rates are climbing, land auctions are slowing. We're not seeing nearly as many land auctions going on right now.
Right.
And I've decided that maybe I'm not comfortable with the prices, but I don't want to manage the land myself. I'm retiring, but I do want to do something with my land. That's where I call you.
Yep.
You come out to my place, you take a look at it, you go in, you look at all the soils, you'll be able to tell me how much you think the land is worth per acre.
Exactly.
And then you go out and you market my land to be rented.
Yep.
But what happens if I want to rent to my neighbor, but I have another neighbor on the other side? I'm both good friends with them. I go to church with them. Our kids have gone to school with them. And I don't want to choose between the two.
Right.
The big question is how do you fix that problem?
Well, that's where we could come in. A lot of times with the landowner's permission, we'll just simply open up that process, advertise for bids, and it's not uncommon to get 5, 10, or even 15 bids in on a cash rental situation, and then we'll just simply try to choose the top 5 and then go to those individuals by phone and have like a mini cash rent auction and determine the winner of that process. That's been very effective for us.
So a cash rent auction could be really my choice. If I like live auctions, I could do a live cash rent auction. I could do it on the internet and do an online only. We can do it by bids, by written bids. We can do it
over the phone
or just over the telephone.
Exactly.
And so there's lots of different ways that we can determine that land rent value. Okay, so as a landowner, when you go out to find a tenant to rent my land, you're going to go through that renter is going to go through an application process. He's going to go through a credit worthiness process. We're going to
two-year management plan.
2-year management plan.
This year and then the coming year.
You're going to do research on that renter to find out what kind of character he is and what kind of person he is, what kind of integrity he has.
Right.
So me as a landowner, I'm going to become more comfortable with who you're going to bring to the table and can be engaged in that decision-making process.
Exactly. That's the whole idea, and we've got a very good track record, with our tenants and our owners, and we just try to build on that.
How many people on the land management team?
There's about 6 of us right now. We're looking for a summer intern. Matter of fact, I'm going to interview one tomorrow. and then we rent land, or manage land all the way from Montana to Missouri.
Now, the thing that's really interesting to me in our meetings not long ago, you talk about the people that were managing their land. On all of that land, we go out in the summertime during the crop season, and you're droning all of that land, all
Right.
230,000 plus
Well,
acres.
we inspect every field after the crop is up, and then we do a pre-harvest inspection as well. Some we drone, some we don't. We don't drone every acre every year, but I'm here to tell you that every field gets inspected at least twice a year.
Okay.
And then if there's tiles in place, then every so many years, the tiles, drainage system needs to be inspected and what have you to make
Okay.
sure that's working too. So the list is long on what we do for our owners.
And you give those reports back to me, you report back to me as to what the crop looks like, if you're taking drone footage or still footage.
Right.
I'm gonna get a report on that so that
Yep.
I know what's going on, especially if I'm an absentee landowner.
Right.
If I have this 640 acre section that's in Turner County in South Dakota.
Right.
And I live in Arizona, or I live in Florida or Texas, or I'm gone for the summertime, you're gonna provide that information to me, so I have a better level of comfort
Oh, yeah.
with that landlord.
Yep.
And so,
There's
yeah.
a formal sheet that the farmer or the tenant prepares: plant dates, harvest dates, yields, protein if it's wheat, moisture percentage, and then that plus all the photos gets built into an annual report, and then that's prepared and presented to the owners, right after the first of the year, probably.
Wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about when it comes to land management?
Just, you can go on our website, pifers.com, pifers.com, and click on the land management tab. And like I said, I get calls every week, people asking about what land management is, what's my land worth. That's until I do some more information or research, it's hard to determine what a cash rental rate is. But all we ask is that landowner be realistic, and then we're fairly confident that we can meet or exceed his expectations.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate you joining us.
Yep.
Folks, this
Thank
is Pifer's Auction and Realty based out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. For more information about land management, go to our website at pifers.com. That's pifers.com. Call us at 605-836-2277. On the land management side, ask for Tim Peters. On the auction, both on equipment and land, ask for Kyle Waller or Chris Bair. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions that you might have. Nobody does it better.
Here now, $1 million here now, 975 now to give $1 million where give a quarter. I'm $1 million bid it now, do now $25,000 bid, $1,025,000. Sold it your way for $1 million bid, $1 million even.